regarding the 11 million illegal immigrants that are here in this country right now. Look, set up a process where those 11 million can come in the door and get a work visa, and grant them that work visa as long as they have not committed a criminal activity, making it easier to identify those criminals that are in this country that in fact should be deported.
Donald Trump says build a wall.
That is crazy. Let's just for a second, the Rio Grande River is the border between Texas and Mexico. So, Neil, which side of the border should we build the fence on? The U.S. side or the Mexican side? Well, gee, we can't do either one of those, can we? Because we
well, his argument is that
let's build it right down the middle.
We've got to do something because it's something to make it as difficult as possible for people to get in here. Now, we've seen with these sophisticated tunnels, you can go under a wall, but he's obviously made that a central campaign pitch.
Well, and then how about the notion that with the presence that we do, with the border security that we do have, that if you arguably cut down that illegal crossing by 90%, because you're going to make it easy for those 90% that are law-abiding to get a work visa.
And only the bad guys get through.
Well, then now, hey, somebody that's crossing illegally, this may have to do with drugs, drug smuggling, drug prohibition.
I mentioned Trump and this idea that he could be well on his way to getting the 1,237
I think he
delegates, and it could happen. But what he doesn't, I mean, he's always said that it's a rigged system, that is the Republican Party, and they have their favorites, and he's not one of them. He could always make a third-party run.
No, that's something that really...
he'd have to do it by July.
Well, even if he attempted to do it now, he would not be on the ballot in all 50 states. And
the Libertarians he could be.
Well, but he's not going to get the Libertarian nomination, and I've always...
your convention?
The end of May.
So you will have already decided on a nominee.
Already have decided on a nominee. Hope to be that nominee.
What did they hear that Donald Trump's available?
Well, then I think Donald Trump would get his head handed to him because he's anything but a libertarian.
Explain.
Well, being fiscally responsible, social. Look, when Donald Trump says, let's deport 11 million illegal immigrants, when he says, let's build a fence across the border, when he says, let's kill the families of Islamic terrorists, when he says he's all about free market, but then in the next sentence he says that Apple should be forced to make their iPads and their iPhones in the United States, libertarians aren't going to buy that. Smaller
government. I want to drug through the pot and everything else. We just didn't have the time.
Next time.
Maybe the next debate. All right, Governor, always good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The entire time I kept wondering where that guy's eyebrows are. Look at it. It's all forehead. It's like a 5-head.
So let's go to the next one, right quick.
Yep.
Pretty long.
And that would be this one, right?
Yes.
I'm Phil Mickelson, pro golfer. My psoriatic arthritis caused joint pain.
Just like my moderate to...
Let's move on to the subject of immigration. And there is almost no issue that separates the two of you more than the issue of immigration. Actually, there are a lot of issues that separate the two of you. Mr. Trump, you want to build a wall. Secretary Clinton, you have offered no specific plan for how you want to secure our southern border. Mr. Trump, you are calling for major deportations. Secretary Clinton, you say that within your first 100 days as president, you're going to offer a package that includes a pathway to citizenship. The question really is, why are you right and your opponent wrong? Mr. Trump, you go first in this segment. You have 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, she wants to give amnesty, which is a disaster and very unfair to all of the people that are waiting in line for many, many years. We need strong borders. In the audience tonight, we have 4 mothers of, I mean, these are unbelievable people that I've gotten to know over a period of years whose children have been killed, brutally killed by people that came into the country illegally. You have thousands of mothers and fathers and relatives all over the country. They're coming in illegally. Drugs are pouring in through the border. We have no country if we have no border. Hillary wants to give amnesty. She wants to have open borders. The border secure, as you know, the Border Patrol agents, 16,500 plus ICE last week endorsed me. First time they've ever endorsed a candidate. It means their job is tougher. but they know what's going on, and they know it better than anybody. They want strong borders. They feel we have to have strong borders. I was up in New Hampshire the other day. The biggest complaint they have, it's with all of the problems going on in the world, many of the problems caused by Hillary Clinton and by Barack Obama, all of the problems, their single biggest problem is heroin that pours across our southern borders, just pouring and destroying their youth. It's poisoning the blood of their youth and plenty of other people. We have to have strong borders. We have to keep the drugs out of our country. We are, right now, we're getting the drugs, they're getting the cash. We need strong borders. We need absolute, we cannot give amnesty. Now, I want to build the wall. We need the wall. The Border Patrol, ICE, they all want the wall. We stop the drugs. We shore up the border. One of my first acts will be to get all of the drug lords, all of the bad ones. We have some bad people in this country that have to go out. We're going to get them out. We're going to secure the border. And once the border is secured, at a later date, we'll make a determination as to the rest. But we have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Mr. Trump, thank you. Same question to you, Secretary Clinton. Basically, why are you right, Mr. Trump as well?
Well, as he was talking, I was thinking about a young girl I met here in Las Vegas, Carla, who was very worried that her parents might be deported because she was born in this country, but they were not. They work hard, they do everything they can to give her a good life. And you're right, I don't want to rip families apart. I don't want to be sending parents away from children. I don't want to see the deportation force that Donald has talked about in action in our country. We have 11 million undocumented people. They have 4 million American citizen children, 15 million people. He said as recently as a few weeks ago in Phoenix that every undocumented person would be subject to deportation. Now, here's what that means. It means you would have to have a massive law enforcement presence where law enforcement officers would be going school to school, home to home, business to business, rounding up people who are undocumented. You would then have to put them on trains, on buses to get them out of our country. I think that is an idea that is not in keeping with who we are as a nation. I think it's an idea that would rip our country apart. I have been for border security for years. I voted for border security in the United States Senate. And my comprehensive immigration reform plan, of course, includes border security. But I want to put our resources where I think they're most needed, getting rid of any violent person, anybody who should be deported, we should deport them. When it comes to the wall that Donald talks about building, he went to Mexico. We had a meeting with the Mexican president, didn't even raise it, he choked. And then got into a Twitter war because the Mexican president said, we're not paying for that wall. So I think we are both a nation of immigrants and we are a nation of laws, and that we can act accordingly. And that's why I'm introducing comprehensive immigration reform within the first 100 days with a path to citizenship.
Thank you, Secretary Clinton. I want to follow up.
I think I should respond to them. First of all, I had a very good meeting with the president of Mexico, very nice man. We will be doing very much better with Mexico on trade deals, believe me. The NAFTA deal signed by her husband is one of the worst deals ever made of any kind, signed by anybody. It's a disaster. Hillary Clinton wanted the wall. Hillary Clinton fought for the wall in 2006 or thereabouts. Now, she never gets anything done, so naturally the wall wasn't built. But Hillary Clinton wanted the wall.
Well, let me.
We are a country
sir,
of laws.
And
by the way,
no, wait. I'd like to hear from.
I'd
like to hear from Secretary Clinton.
I voted for border security, and there are some limited places where that was appropriate. There also is necessarily going to be new technology and how best to deploy that. But it is clear when you look at what Donald has been proposing, he started his campaign bashing immigrants, calling Mexican immigrants rapists and criminals and drug dealers, that he has a very different view about what we should do to deal with immigrants. Now, what I am also arguing is that bringing undocumented immigrants out from the shadows, putting them into the formal economy will be good because then employers can't exploit them and undercut Americans' wages. And Donald knows a lot about this. He used undocumented labor to build the Trump Tower. He underpaid undocumented workers, and when they complained, He basically said what a lot of employers do. You complain, I'll get you deported. I want to get everybody out of the shadows, get the economy working, and not let employers like Donald exploit undocumented workers, which hurts them, but also hurts American workers.
Mr. Trump.
President Obama has moved millions of people out. Nobody knows about it. Nobody talks about it. But under Obama, millions of people have been moved out of this country. They've been deported. She doesn't want to say that, but that's what's happened. And that's what's happened bigly. As far as moving these people out and moving, we either have a country or we don't. We're a country of laws. We either have a border or we don't. Now, you can come back in and you can become a citizen, but it's very unfair. We have millions of people that did it the right way. They're online, they're waiting. We're going to speed up the process bigly because it's very inefficient. But they're online and they're waiting to become citizens. Very unfair that somebody runs across the border, becomes a citizen. Under her plan, you have open borders. You would have a disaster on trade and you will have a disaster with your open borders. But what she doesn't say is that President Obama has deported millions and millions of people just the way it is.
Secretary Clinton, I want to...
We will not have open borders.
Well,
That is a rank mischaracterization.
Secretary Clinton.
We will have secure borders, but we will also have reform. And this used to be a bipartisan issue. Ronald Reagan was the last president to sign immigration reform, and George W. Bush supported it as well.
All right, so, as I said, I thought that it would be befitting that we're having, this conversation,
Next segment is fitness to be president of the United States. Mr. Trump, at the last debate, you said your talk about grabbing women was just that, talk, and that you'd never actually done it. And since then, as we all know, 9 women have come forward and said that you either groped them or kissed them without their consent. Why would so many different women?
all right, so, let's get started with, the issues and concerns. Get out of that. We'll get that all day. All right, so where do we start?
Do you want the wall or don't you want the wall?
Okay, we can start with the wall.
Okay, so I have a quick question. Why is it like that they only like talking about Mexicans? Like Mexicans is not the only group. What?
It's the main group that we.
It's not the main group.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this.
Wait, what's the main group?
It says the main group.
Mexicans.
So,
Well, no, they just
no, you said
always,
it's not the main
they
group.
always,
What's
when
the
they say
main group? It's not
Mexican, I think is that they misuse the word, we should say Latin Americans or Latino, because I think that they just use Mexican like to generalize everything, like, that's the way I feel.
let's talk about this. And Hope raises a great question. Why are we focused on, and their terminology is Mexican, right? And so remember, we're in criminal justice. So I think the focus is on crime, right? And so I think that the nation is suggesting that this population of individuals are responsible for a large portion of what? Of crime, because you talk about that, you know, they're murderers, they're violent, they're doing this. And so all that does is creates a little anxiety amongst the American public that, hey, we need, you know, these individuals are a problem. And so one of the suggestions is to build a wall, and i.e. border security. And so this is no different from blacks in the 50s and 60s. They identified a problem. So we need to try to do something about it. So now we're talking about Mexicans and crime, and I think this is the reason why they focus, because there's so many other people that come in illegally as well. But so the wall, is that where you want to start, the wall?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so why are you laughing?
She ready?
Oh, she's ready, okay. Give us, start, Jackie, what's your take on it?
Well, personally, I feel like the law is stupid. People are gonna find ways, to come over here regardless, whether it's a wall or not. I mean, people who are jumping on trains who are crossing, in Rio Grande to be able to come here. So
But wouldn't the wall substantially decrease? We can't stop it all, but wouldn't it decrease?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's a new way of immigrants or, people are coming through and coming underground. People are now making railroads to come underground to get here. So even if you build a wall, people are going to sort of find a way
They're gonna
to get
continue
here.
finding it.
Because people who come here want a better future, or they're escaping from the reality they're living there. So, wherever country they come from, not only Mexico, but you have in other countries that their reality is horrible, and they're coming here to escape from that. So I don't see. I see what they're saying, but in a way, I don't.
It's not
But
gonna
to
work.
Donald Trump's defense, we had a lot of them coming over, committing crimes, killing people, and
But
they
that's
can
not
escape
every-
and go
I
back.
mean, it's like every other race though. You don't just have Mexicans doing this. And I'm not saying that Mexicans don't, a lot of them do, but not all of
Gang
them.
violence.
But not all of them. You have white people doing that. African Americans doing that. You have Indians doing that. You have every other race doing that. Regardless, wherever you look, whatever color, whatever race, wherever they come from, they're doing that. Too.
Okay, so
It's
another,
not just Mexicans.
but the argument would be,
Chris
so
might be doing it at night.
they are American.
I don't know.
We can deal with our people, but you're coming over here causing more.
So
No, that's not the reality though. That's not everybody either. Basically this is me, right? The way I see it is the system, the way they're doing it is they're breaking families apart. There's people who have not done anything. They come here, they work, they get their stuff together, and they don't come here to do all this crazy stuff and insane.
But they're here illegal.
Well, then give them the opportunity to be here legally because they don't. They took that away from them. And people that are trying to do this legally are having to wait years, 8, 10 years to be even getting a response back.
I can vouch for that.
Okay, so I'm coming to you. I just want to throw this in. I'm coming to you, but I just want to throw this in. So what I'm hearing is, what I'm suggesting is that you want America to give a person who's breaking the law a chance.
yes.
Go ahead,
I'll try. I look at it from two different perspectives: from a personal perspective and from a legal law perspective. That's what we are under law. So personally, I can relate to a lot of that because my stepfather's been in the process for 15 years. So that's whatever. My actual original father was a criminal who came here illegally and got deported in '97 after he got out of prison. Or no, '99 after he got out of prison. So his history wasn't the best. He was involved in drugs, murder, you name it. So again, that's where I'm torn. But again, I look at also from a system of laws. Then I look at something like whenever we granted amnesty to a lot of the Cubans, not Haitians, Cubans in the 1980s, what happened in Dade County? You look back at those records. Yes, a lot of them were leaving Fidel Castro's regime. We actually something we just went over last class. They went to, what did they do? They floated 90 miles to Key West, into Miami-Dade County, into South Florida. What happened there? If you look at the records.
The cocaine cowboys.
Cocaine cowboys, we know about all that. We know about the crime rate went over 500% in the early 80s. I mean, they made the movie Scarface on it. That's, again, me looking at it from a law perspective. Was there families torn apart? Was there a lot of bad? Was there a lot? Yeah, there was. So again, like I'm saying, I can see it from my personal view because of my stepfather, my actual father, and relate to it where it's like, yeah, my stepfather, who is actually, I consider him my dad, he's actually my real dad, I tell people. He's been waiting 15 years to be able to get a residency. And I look at it from an emotional perspective where it's like, okay, his mom is pretty much on her deathbed right now, and he can't go see her. If he goes down there to see her, he's not coming back.
Wow.
So it's very hurtful. But then again, I look at people like my real dad, my biological father, Albert Corona Sr., where he's even put me in a tight spot with trying to get a job with Homeland Security. When I did apply for Homeland Security and I actually went into the interviews, he came up. And it was like, we know that your father, and that's federal government. They're going to look deeper into it versus state departments. I have two uncles who again are on the run. One of my oldest cousin.
On the run?
He's on the run right now. He's in Mexico City. He committed an assault with a deadly weapon, robbed somebody, tied them up in their house and let them die. It was an old gentleman. He managed to get out, roll down his driveway, and somebody helped him after 3 days. He almost died of starvation. My cousin got out of job at 50 grand, went to Mexico because he was going to get a 20-year sentence, 20-year life sentence. So again, I try to see from every point of view. I mean, that's where I'm kind of, I guess, torn in between both. We're trying to apply from a system of laws to trying to apply from a personal.
I think Valentina did it too. You forgot what you wanted to say?
Kind of.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that I kind of disagree with what she said because I was reading an article like last week and they said that as of like 2015 to 2016, people crossing the border wasn't as bad as people who were overstaying their visa. Because like it's easy to get a tourist visa and then just stay here longer than the 6 months that they give you, and that's how they become immigrant. So it's not just about crossing the border. Yeah, I feel that can decrease it, but there's still many other ways.
Many other ways.
They can be illegal from the beginning, originally can be legal, but they can just turn.
But I think, so did y'all hear that? So there's the other way that we have to look at as far as, you know, when you come over, you can have a visa and you can overstay your visa. But I would argue that that person who is going to take the time to gather a visa is not necessarily going to be that person who's coming through the, what do they call them, coyotes? Yeah. That's sinister. That's insidious. You're already starting off bad, right? Your mindset is already bad. So then once you get here, we can't ask you to change that. So I think that person who gets the visa, their mind, student visa, work visa, whatever it is, their mind is wanting to do right from the beginning. Now, once they get here and they be like, oh, I really don't want to go back home, I think that's a little bit different. In my opinion, I don't know. In my opinion, I just think that's a little bit different. But what I'm hearing is that how many people disagree with what Jackie is saying? Anybody disagree with Jackie is saying? Y'all think? How many is brave enough to say that they
What exactly
disagree?
What is that?
But she was saying that she don't think that. How many think that they need? Okay, so let's not just say the wall, because when you say the wall, you will be afraid. Yeah. It's like boom, right? You know, you don't want to say the wall. But how many people feel that this is an issue that we need to really take care of? See, Hillary Clinton didn't want to say the wall. She said, you know, border security. That means the wall, as Trump.
Wasn't Border Patrol at some point even cut down during, I think after the Obama administration, after 2008, wasn't Border Security already cut down a bit?
I'm not sure as far as the funding is concerned.
But border security is one of the most underfunded federal agencies in
Because like even here in Texas, when they deployed the National Guard down to the border, they really still couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Do you believe? Who believes that we need a wall?
Well, I'm halfway there. I'm halfway in the sense where it's like you look at.
Only one person believes that we need a wall.
I think that we need to do something to keep people from illegally entering the country. But I think if you build a 30-foot wall, then there'll be record sales for 31-foot ladders. You know, that's just the way it works. People will find a way around it.
I'm climbing.
I think that like as far as like the wall goes, because there's parts of Texas where it's just ranch land that there's no wall. It's like a barbed wire, barbed wire fence with some mesquite sticks and a rock. That's it. You know, I believe that maybe parts of it could be reinforced better and better border security as far as national security goes. Because if you ever go to like Mexico in the south, they have a wall and they actually have the military station there.
So let's see what Sid has to say.
Okay, maybe like whenever he's saying build the wall, like have, you know, border security on both sides. So whenever the people do go over the wall or whatever, you know, there'll be people over there to catch these people. But I've also seen something about like Donald Trump talking about like.
But can I say something right quick? Because I just want to interject this. Itso said that they're coming over for a better life. So why would you want to put up a wall?
But not everyone's doing that.
But
So
most
it's-
people
So why
are
would they
coming
come
here
here
for a
then?
better, the American dream. Not all people who come here are criminals.
Right.
Some people are escaping from their country because all their country is full of
A
crime.
lot of Americans that already live here can't even live the American dream. So these people have a warped mind that are coming over here. So I don't think they're actually
all
coming
America
over here
is, man,
for
a
the
dream.
true American
You.
Most
Hey.
people are coming.
A lot of people, but also what I was gonna say though is I've heard Donald Trump talk about like Muslims or whatever, like, and
ISIS.
okay, you can't put a wall between them because there's water. Hello, whatever. So whenever,
But Sydney,
but people are saying like, but
Muslim,
people are saying like the wall is like against Mexicans or
you can't block
whatever.
ISIS. ISIS
Well,
has a website.
because it's easier to get across from Mexico to the US than it is from these other countries because there's like water, you know,
Right.
they actually have to get on planes and
Right.
whatever.
Right.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
a great point, right?
So I feel like people think Donald Trump is
So,
specifically aiming things
Instead of
at
building a wall,
Mexicans,
they got
which I
trench
mean,
and fill
yeah,
it with water.
he is saying a lot against them,
Uh-huh.
but it is harder for these other people to get over to the US than
Right.
Mexicans are.
Right.
But, you know, I think he's not just going specifically at Hispanics, he's going against all races because he's a billionaire, trillionaire, whatever he is.
Mhm.
Instead of building a
And
wall,
he's seen a lot of
build a
different
trench,
things happen
fill
in
it
his
with
own
water.
company. He's old, he's seen a lot of things happen in the world. My parents are in their 50s and they're like, Sydney, things aren't like they used to be, trust me. And Donald Trump's in his, 60s or whatever, 70s? So if my parents are in their mid-50s and they're telling me, Sydney, things now are nothing like they used to be, then Donald Trump has definitely seen how times have changed. So I believe whenever he says, make America great again, he can
But
see.
Hillary is,
I believe that he
she's old
can
too.
see that we can make a difference by not letting all these people that are planting bombs, blowing people up, shooting up, drug lords coming over here that are making America bad.
That does make a lot of sense, Maria.
Well, I'm not really like for it, and I'm not
It
gonna
does.
on whatever she said.
Wait, say it again?
I'm not like for or against it. I just want to point something out. Maybe the reason why they become criminals is because I believe we all have the same initiative by coming to America, and that's only to get a better life. But maybe people become criminal because of the way they cannot get a job. So maybe they just start doing illegal stuff to get money, and that's how they become criminal. But it's not like, oh, let me go to US and be a criminal, you know? So maybe the primary reason for them to come is just to get a better life. But in the process of getting that better life, maybe not all of us get the same opportunity, and that's why they become criminals.
Okay, so if you're saying that you don't want the wall, then you're actually saying that let's continue to allow people to come into the country illegally.
No, that's not what she
They're
said.
also saying,
I mean, it's
That's not
really
what
no
she's
gray
saying.
area. It's really no gray area.
I mean,
It's like either you do it properly or you do it illegally.
What
But I
way is there
mean-
to do it properly?
Huh?
Is there a way to do it properly?
Well,
Yes.
student visas
Yes,
and-
no, I mean.
Let's break that down.
BS, so like just how that,
Don't point me out.
what is
I know
that
you're
thing
going
that
for
Obama
it.
came up with,
Jamaica.
what is it, Dreamers Act thing?
Uh-huh.
That's so hard for them
I like
to
it here.
actually get on this. Like, it's not easy, like, people think it is, and
Your toes are
that
right.
doesn't happen often anymore at all.
But
That happened back in like early, like 60s maybe, because my mom was born in San Luis, and when she was born, it was already like past that, like it wasn't there no more.
But isn't that the process?
Okay, and then.
So the argument, I'm sorry, yeah, so I'm holding, I just want to throw this in. Isn't that the process? So one of the arguments for black is that you get a disproportionate sentence if you have crack cocaine as opposed to cocaine. So black people say, oh, it's a conspiracy against blacks because you get more time for crack cocaine. But isn't that law about crack cocaine, isn't that for everybody? right? Like for black, white, Hispanic, just don't do crack cocaine. So what I'm saying is, when we're talking about for the student, that is not just against Latinos, that's for everybody who's not in America. This is the way that you have to, that's the law. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes, I know that there is a legal way to come here. So then why a lot of people come here illegally and there is a process to come here legally? I mean, legally, why do so many people still try to cross the border even though there is a system so that you can be here legally?
That's his problem. Mexico is getting the money, not the drugs.
They're desperate about getting here. They're putting their life at risk though.
They wanna be here they're so crazy about being here that they just wanna jump the whole process. It takes time. This is
It
not
takes
their
time.
country. Hold on. But you can just force yourself from going to someone's house, try to break in, like ask for permission. Just go in and take the time to actually go through the process. If they wanna check your background, just let them do it. This is not your home. Well, not your their home. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a process. I mean,
You can't just break in.
no, yeah, and like Central and South Americans, we earned that reputation of like breaking in the US. There right now, I'm not American at all. I've been here for like less than 3 years. But I mean, my whole family has done the whole process of getting a student visa, then jumped to work visa, and now we're waiting on our residency. And just by doing the right thing, by following the law, things are they're gonna go easy on you. That's why, I mean, I'm not in favor of building the wall, because I feel like the United States should take more care about punishing the ones that are already here illegally, and then they can jump to like keeping them out.
So
So like,
when you say punish, isn't punishment deportation?
yes.
But then they come right back.
So can I?
No, because I mean, it's just, I don't know how to, it's just, that doesn't.
Maybe not come right
back. Come back.
Cut the time.
Okay, so I think, okay, I'm gonna come to you, Cindy, but I hadn't heard from Hope yet, and so we'll see what Hope has to say.
So Valentina, basically you're saying that like, if people come the right way into the country, then all of this will be avoided? Is that like basically what you're saying?
What is gonna be avoided?
Like all like deportation and people doing crime and all of that? Okay, so what about like when parents take and they send their kids out here illegally?
Who, like Central America?
It doesn't matter, like any race, anything, like how you
Why
feel.
would they send them?
Okay, so firsthand, my kid's father, his dad took and put him from Jamaica to America in somebody else's name and everything. Sent him out here at the age of 6. So he came to America at the age of 6 by himself.
Why would you want to risk your life or your kid's life?
Because if you go to Jamaica and you come here, you're gonna see the difference of how out there, they, excuse my language, they give 2 fucks. Out here, there's more rules and there's more grounding. Out there in Jamaica, and Bradley, you know this for a fact. That's why you're over here doing that. It's totally different. I'm being so serious. Like, it's totally different. Like, you have people that will shoot you in your face in front of the cops and not give 2 fucks. That's what he was born and raised around. So his dad did it the wrong way. Yes, he did it the wrong way and sent him in somebody else's name. So right now, it's hard for him.
And then the next step would be to ask, do you want like cowboys and Indians like that coming over to the country?
But is it not bad like that?
Hey man, you got enough money, you get away with anything.
Exactly. All it's about out there is money. Their money, they don't care. Like, you can get away with anything out there. So his dad didn't want him to do that. Yes, he fucked him up in the long run, because even though we're married, even though we have 2 kids that was born in America, he still can't get his papers. But it's still the fact that people do that, not only because, oh, they want to, oh, let me risk my life, let me do this, because nobody want to live in that.
Can I say this though, to back up, if his dad would have done the process correctly, would your husband probably be a little better off?
All the problems started off with illegally sending a minor to a foreign country.
Yeah, because I mean, when you seek a better life, you need to have a plan, you need to have a budget, you need to know what you're putting yourself into. You just don't go like, okay, I think it's gonna be better here.
Yeah, but then again, you live.
But if they filled out the
good
papers,
stuff,
somebody would.
and you have a good, but who cares about it? You can't expect the government to care
You
about
said
your
it's not that
situation. It is bad, thank you. So, let me say something, okay, you have a kid, or whatever, I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson, but when people have kids, they're not thinking about, oh, let me do this the right way. They thinking about, I'm not gonna let my kids go through this. Me as a mom, I'm never gonna let my daughters go through anything. So if I have to be the one to go and I gotta do this illegally, I gotta do that to make sure that they good, I'm gonna do it.
That's
But
a
I mean,
mistake.
you put yourself in that situation.
But that's a risk you take when you want a good life for your kids.
Yeah,
That's
but then it's not only that you put yourself in that situation. People cannot help what they're born and raised at. You couldn't help that you was born and raised in another country. Bradley couldn't help that he was born and raised in Jamaica. You cannot say that they putting themselves in that situation because people are also born into that. Yes, there's people that do shit that they're not supposed to. And yes, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, let's help them. No, they deserve what they get because they doing the wrong thing. But then again, there's people who can't do that.
So there should
Can
be
I
no
say
filter
something
for these
here?
people?
What about the people who live here? So y'all, I have a group of people, you know, that are saying absorb them of the illegal activity that they're doing because they live a hard life. And I liken that to individuals who live here in the hood. So if you're gonna give them that same grace, then you need to give blacks the same grace in the communities. You need to give them the same grace and say, hey, they can do crimes because they grew up in a bad neighborhood.
No.
That
Kia.
don't fit?
No. No, that doesn't
Don't,
make
it don't,
sense.
no?
Kia not happy. Kia not happy.
So, okay, the average drug dealer goes and sell drugs because they want a better life. They want to help moms who have the kids. They want to get out, but they're not doing it the right way.
Lack of opportunity, as
There's a
said.
correlation.
That's what I'm saying. So you should give them the same grace.
So they're making
I
their own
think in
opportunity.
It should be
the
okay.
terms of sending your child over by themselves, because my great grandmother came from Jamaica, and she was sent here by herself. But it wasn't illegal back then. So it's illegal now. So do we go by, oh well, it's illegal now, so don't do it. You're a criminal. Blah blah blah. You fucked your kids up. Or whereas back then it wasn't, because of course she was seeking a better life than what was in Jamaica, even though America wasn't better back then, so far as because she had dark skin. But I mean, the correlation, I mean, of course, if you selling drugs to say, oh, I'm making my kids better, then of course you need to go to jail because you're harming other people. But sending your kids over because you don't know what his situation was in Jamaica. Maybe somebody was threatening him and his family. He just wanted to get his kid out of there. Like, of course, I wouldn't, I mean, yeah, that's not something that I would do, but that happens in countries like that.
Illegal immigrants coming over without documentation, not paying taxes, that directly affects the economy. There's victims in every crime that you commit.
There's a lot of people who are born here who don't pay taxes. My mom don't pay her taxes and she's a nurse. So there's a lot of people who don't pay taxes in this country, who are born in this country. So there's a lot
We gotta
of.
reel that in. Let's go ahead and erase that from the record.
Trump doesn't pay taxes.
All right.
Trump doesn't pay taxes.
Two letters, DL, man, come on.
Listen up.
Trump has a legal reason.
Hold on, we're going to go to Sydney, Nick,
Sure.
and Maria.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, like she was saying, like,
Dumping
let's
over
go
$1 billion
here for the
to be
American
exalted and not
and
pay
like she was
taxes.
saying, you'll have a better life if you go through the process. Well, half of America doesn't even have jobs that live here. And so people that want to have the American dream, and they're,
Wait, let's
I'm just throwing whatever out there.
I'm not a numbers guy.
But you know me and my numbers, okay? But look,
You're
like
right.
these illegals coming over here to have the American dream, so-called, or whatever, they're gonna have a harder time getting jobs without having identification, having this, having that. Which, I know, well, in a way, yes, it can be easier for them because, yes, they can get a job because, you know, maybe they'll take like a lower pay or whatever. But at the same time, you know, it can be harder for them to get like a good paying job like some of us in this room can get.
Oh, that's good, Sydney. So
Because-
actually, the American dream is not even something that they can have.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Because literally,
Hey.
half of this room right
But
here,
one could
whenever we
argue
get out of
that
school,
America
we might
is
not
no
even
one's
live the
country.
American dream.
Because
Truly, what is the American dream?
No one's originally from America.
Honestly, I mean,
America
for real.
was colonized,
Like-
y'all.
like
It's
that.
no one's country.
Go ahead, Nick.
All right, so just piggyback on what because that story's kind of crazy. I have a 6-year-old. I don't let him go down the street without me like being out there and watching him, much less would I send him to a different country by himself. This is not like, Egyptian times where, you put Moses in the Nile River and set him down, it's just a Pharaoh's house. Like,
Really,
no,
Nick,
it's not
you're
like that.
getting old
You
too
can't-
fast.
You can't do that. Like, there's a right way to do it, and that right way is going. If you really want to have a better life for your family or for yourself, then why not take that extra time? Why not figure it out to take that extra time to do it the right way, so you don't have all these other repercussions when you get to the country, because really you're only making it harder on yourself. I mean, yeah, it's hard back here, but shit, it's gonna be just as hard once you cross that threshold.
All right,
And then
Mr. J.
you're like
Do
said,
the right
you're gonna start
thing.
figuring
What
out.
is
You're
the
gonna start
right
wondering,
thing?
how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna
What
do this?
is right and wrong?
And you're going to
Hold on, listen to what they said.
you're going to resort to negative things. You're going to do it because why? Everybody wants the easier way. Nobody. I mean, you work so hard to get over here, but when you get here, who's to say that you're going to? Who's to say that you're going to do the same thing? And the thing, it's not the fact that everybody that we view everybody who immigrates over here in a negative light. It's the fact that the very few, the small percentage that do come over here and just don't want to do the right thing, those are the ones that cause the most trouble. And it's not like one person could blow up 50 people, but the effects, it's not the 50 people that died, it's the families that they come from. And then even in the bigger picture, it's the psychological effect it puts on the communities that, oh, now they're scared because of immigrants coming over off of one person blowing up 50 people. And now the whole community and the nation is looking at it and they're like, oh, well, where's the problem? And then we look towards that one person. Well, what's his ethnicity? Oh, he's Mexican. Oh, now it's like all the Mexicans. It all starts off that very small percentage. So no, we're not looking at all immigrants, but it's very hard to not be prejudiced against it when you see it multiple times. And
So in other words, build a wall.
Build a wall.
Not build a wall, not build a wall, but have better security measures. Put more funding into Border Patrol. Voters can.
As Trump said.
If we go through the system, voters can actually do it. We can. There's petition. There's different ways you can get active in your government, and it goes from local to state to national, and you just take that up, and you vote on it. Whatever it goes from there, then it happens. But yeah, it takes time.
Real.
Okay,
Taylor,
so,
Chris.
at one point, I was illegal, and some of my family was illegal.
Listen up.
But I would say, like, we have to be real. At the end of the day, this is not our country. So if I was to be deported, you have to take life as it is. You cannot come here and demand legal status because you have not worked for it. Like, we all have to understand people who are illegal here as criminals. We have committed a crime in some way because it's not legal. So even though, like I said, I'm legal, not because I'm legal, I'm saying this now, but if they were to take my papers away, I have to take it as it is and do it the right way. And I know there is a right way to do it. My parents were just lazy enough to do it that way, But, I mean, we have to take it as it is. And it hurts me, yes, because there's a bunch of families who are going to be, like, breaking apart once that happens. But when they were over there in Mexico or whatever country is not the U.S., they knew that was illegal. They knew there were going to be consequences. And they had to think about that,
That's good. I like that. Let's give that a round of applause. I like that. Go ahead, Bill. We woke
I've
Taylor
been
up.
waiting since 98. I'm here now.
I mean, I don't know
Been
if
leading
you've ever
since
seen me
97.
walk out there, but every time
Oh,
I
yeah?
walk this passion, my boyfriend's walking me.
Hey, you agree with
He's
Mexico?
About America.
Okay? His parents are American citizens. They did it the right way. They came here
She came here to escape domestic abuse, okay? He took everything she had, she came here and she started her life, but she did it the right way. Now his father, that he goes home, his mother and his father, that's not his biological father though, because that one was left in Mexico. He got deported. Now, she's afraid, yes, because it's a bunch of ways for them to get into the United States. So of course to her, something needs to be done.
Because he can come back over.
Yes, and she's afraid of him, and so I feel bad for her. I mean, I can't speak a lick of Spanish, but I can understand her. If I hear anybody in this room speaking Spanish, I can understand because, I mean, I listen to her all the time. And I just went to Mexico maybe a few weeks ago.
With him?
Mm-hmm. And when I went, a bunch of soldiers, a bunch of big ass guns. I'm sorry, but I was scared shitless. And when I got there, I pulled over and she told me we had to go to this building because she said that if I was there and I was caught there, then they could do something to me that I don't know. So I had to go and I had to get a paper for permission to be there.
Oh. You had to do it the right way. I'm hearing that a whole lot. What do you think, Chris? Daisy? I know Daisy has something to say.
Who said that? Smart girl?
Nothing.
That's not good.
My parents came here, but they
She
didn't
can
come to
voice
our
her
day.
opinion.
They did?
No, but they were treating them. So then my sister, she came in here when she was 5. My mom was already here, but my mom had my grandma send her by herself over when she was 5 in another person's name. And then she eventually got her papers. So I don't see anything wrong with people coming here the wrong way.
As long as they have a plan for it, yeah. Because she didn't come in, you know.
Wow, so that's very interesting. That I'm just saying, listen, you know, I'm just throwing it out. I'm not saying right or wrong. So we have a lot of people who feel that it's okay to do a criminal activity. Like it's illegal.
Let's not.
I'm just, that's what it's about.
Let's not put it that way.
Okay, I'm coming to you. Did I say you, Chris? Okay, Chris, go ahead and then Anna. Go ahead, go ahead Chris.
Right. No, ladies first.
You're gonna be the last one, Chris. I mean, well, after Anna, yeah. Because we only got about 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, man, I forgot now.
That's all right, well, Chris, go ahead, Chris. Chris probably forgot.
No!
She forgot, Chris.
Okay. I want to say something. It's gonna be clear.
Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah, I think it's wrong how they come in illegal and stuff, but some of the kids, like my mom, she brought me when I was 1. I have, like, should I be deported? Because I came and it wasn't even me. I didn't make the decision. I told my mom, oh, let's go over. She brought me and I was here. And
I think there's some concessions
so
for
I'm just
people
like,
like
I know
that.
my mom should have done it. I'm not even for what she did. Because she got caught, she went to jail, I came, and she got deported, came back. That's all these things she did wrong. And I'm not okay with what she did. She should have done it the right way, and I would have been fine. I had to do all this process, you know, to try to get citizenship because she didn't do it the right way. But I mean, I don't understand why. Like, I don't think the kids should be punished for it because I had no, you know, I had no saying in it. I was little. I can't be like, no, mom, let's not do that. She did it all by herself, and I can't be like,
you going to school, you got a job, so
yeah,
should you be deported?
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Chris.
Me? No. First of all, you gotta recognize the enemy. And you say what you want. If somebody's trying to get over the border illegally, and they're breaking the law, that's the enemy. They're my family, I did it, all that stuff. The bottom line is that this isn't a moralist country, it's a capitalist country. This is, making money is what this place is all about. The only reason why politicians get involved in any sort of crossing border situation, because it's costing somebody money. Either they're losing money.
And you wonder why people come here. This country's all about making money, man.
I was almost there.
Okay, so hold on a second.
Right there.
Now, let's reel this in. Let's look at what we're saying.
Hey, did you know you could get deported based on your heritage? Here, and your parents are from another country, you can get deported too.
I didn't know that. But I tell you, hey, let's do this. Let's reel this in so we can finish it up. And so now, what I'm hearing CJ majors, criminal justice majors,
I don't know
those that are going to be maybe law enforcers, whatever, or lawmakers are now saying that it is okay to break the law.
No one said that.
That's what you're saying when you're saying that it's okay. You're telling me, you're saying, but look at their situation.
No one said it was okay.
So, but Mr. Johnson, how many people break the law every day? You run the red light, you break the law. You do this, you break the law. You selling drugs, you break the law. So then, what about that thing that poll that we had the other day?
So that's what I'm saying.
Like, but if half of the people in here was like, yeah, I agree. But y'all not saying that.
Okay, so when someone breaks into your home and take all of your stuff because they're poor and they grew up in a bad neighborhood, but they took your stuff to sell it to make money, that's okay.
Hey man, you don't know if his daughter has cancer.
Is that okay?
No, that's not.
But you just telling me they come from bad situations, it's okay to come over here. How can you say
But are they taking something
but you don't
from
say
you?
that?
Yes.
Okay. That's another way.
Hold on a second. Maria, she's raising her hand. I don't understand how you can say it's okay to break the law in this instance, but in this instance,
there's another way.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the place where I'm from, it's the worst. Like you see killing everywhere.
Where
Like,
from?
not because you're coming
Oklahoma?
No, Tamaulipas.
All right,
So not because you're coming from a place like that, it's an excuse for you to break the law in the U.S. and be like, oh, I'm running away from that. Because honestly, all of my cousins have degrees, and they are making good money. And as long as you don't mess with the wrong people, nothing's bad gonna happen to you.
That's true.
And like I said,
Nothing's bad gonna happen to you.
nothing bad's gonna happen to you. And I wish I was there. Like even if you're or there, when you're smart enough to make a living, you'll make it.
You'll make it.
Yeah.
Something, can I
Wow.
Hey.
You have to find a way. Like if
Jamaica,
you're poor, you
Just
have
got
to find a way out, even if it's in the same country.
Get your education.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
like
pretty
I
much the
said,
same thing.
I would like she said, it was enough for her to come here when she was a child, and I get that my parents get along, but if for some reason we're to get sent back to the
There's always another way to stop making America look so great. People won't want to come here.
Because I love
This
that.
is how I feel like for illegals, as long as like if I was them or I wasn't illegal at once, like I said, but I wouldn't be demanding papers. I would just be like, okay, as long as they don't call me, I'll be here quiet, you know, until whatever they send me back. But in that process, if you're smart enough, you'll be making money, paying taxes, and whatever you have to do in your country for whatever that you get sent, you have a backup, you know?
Wow.
That's a smart way to do it. I just don't like people who come here and they demand stuff or they demand the best and they want to stay here because that's not where they're from.
So what happens to somebody from Guatemala that crosses into Mexico? That's my question. Because I don't know if you knew that, but and so like every country has their laws and borders for national security. If somebody from Central America, if you can even find a documentary on it, we watched it. It's so much harder for someone from El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, wherever to cross into Mexico. The moment they cross into Mexico, either they're going to be detained for a certain period of time, or they get deported, or shot. There's a lot of violence on that border. The Mexican military has they put their military on the border for most parts of the southern Mexican border. So again, I mean, they don't fuck around. They don't. They're kind of crooked over there too. Then. So.
Wow. Jackie, go ahead and then we'll.
Can I just say something real quick? Okay, so my mom's uncle got murdered last year. He was cut up. He was thrown in a bayou. 78 years old. What could a 78-year-old man could be doing to somebody? Okay, my grandma has her house.
This happened in America?
No, this is in Mexico, okay? My grandma has her house. She walks out sometimes and there's these big old black Suburbans outside of her house because they want to park there. And these are drug dealers these are drug lords, big people that just take over my grandma's land because they want to, because they know that she has a good amount of land. They go there, they do whatever they want, they take money from whoever they want, and they take advantage of the fact that they have guns, that they have, authority over the people there. They have authority over the police officers, over the military there, because they pay them off however much money they want, and then they get to do whatever they want. Now, was I mad? Yes, I was mad because a 8-year-old man, what could he do to a drug dealer? I mean, he was not involved in nothing like that. What we think it was maybe they asked him for money, he didn't have any, and then boom, that happened. And so, yes, my family is living in fear over there because, they can't go, wherever they want, or they can't move around how they want. So it's hard. My dad lives out there. He has 3 kids.
No one in your family is doing anything illegal?
No.
The fear that makes them want to leave that country is the fear that wants people to keep them out.
And then my dad too. My dad's staying.
They don't want that same kind of thing over here. That's what this whole thing is about.
That's what I'm saying. Though some of those people are really seeking out of that. Drug lords are not coming here. They're not. They're over there. They're good. They're getting what they want from over there. Now, are people bringing drugs here? That's on them. But the drug lords, the major drug lords, they don't want to come over here. They have their shit made over there.
No, they just want
their people
to move across the border.
Vehicles, they have money.
Chapo to become richer.
Chapo got arrested. He got sent here.
But what about
he was over there. He was arrested over there.
So so we know the drug laws probably don't. But what about there's people who lower who's gotten into that and they're like, man, let me get to America. And they come over here.
Hey, I want to be like that drug lord. That's my goal.
Does that happen though?
Back to what Cindy was saying about how there's no American dream. To Mexicans.
This place already got too much drug lords. Let's start fresh over there.
They coming over here, they're not thinking of, oh, let me go have a white picket fence house, okay? They're thinking of, let me just work, make my money, make sure my family is okay. They're sending money back to Mexican families that are out there. My grandma is also very sick and she can't get much help because they don't have any insurance out there, but I can't bring her over here because she doesn't have how much to be here, right? So my mom works hard, my mom cleans houses, and my mom works hard. My stepdad is from Honduras. He has a thing they call TPS. It's a permit to work here, right? He pays taxes because my mom is illegal. He doesn't get anything back when he does his taxes, and he does not get anything back, and he has to pay them back. So they are paying back. Yes, my mom was here illegally. She was here since she was 6 years old as well. She came here to work. My dad was here when he was 5. He came here to work. My dad came here alone. And then I go back to what he was saying. There's always 2 sides of it. My mom has, the only crime she committed was coming here illegally. But my dad did it the wrong way. My dad's only way out was selling drugs because he was only 6 years old. At 6 years old, my dad became a drug dealer.
Here in America?
Yes, here in America. Because that was his only way out. So yes, I do understand what you guys are saying, how it's illegal. And
why was that his only way out?
To be here, he had no family, he had no money, he had nothing.
So he was an illegal immigrant selling drugs in this country.
Huh?
He was an illegal
immigrant.
immigrant.
He was 6 years old because there's nothing else that he could have done.
Chris,
I'm just saying, it's not.
How are you going to survive at 6 years old on your own?
We have a comment.
Were you illegal?
We've got a comment.
Were you illegal?
Yeah.
Did you start selling drugs?
No.
Was she here alone? Did you come here alone? Like, you don't have a place to stay at?
I was with my mom and we went through a hard time because of course, like when a family's already here, they're gonna look at you like, oh, like should you take your room in my house? Like we were living with her brothers, but the wife was like really fucked up to us, and we like when I think that's when I was 16. So I started working with an illegal permit. And that's how we started like saving money. We got out of there.
Why you didn't get
But you don't have to go to drugs.
He was 6.
Oh, come on. Who did they go to?
He wasn't 6 forever. How old is he now?
He lives in Mexico now, but he's not here. But what I'm saying
Why is he in
was
Mexico?
6 years old because he got deported.
Okay, we have a comment. It's modern day slavery. Why pay a legal American citizen $10 an hour when they can pay an illegal under the table at $5 an hour?
When I said that last week, y'all put me under the rug.
No, we didn't.
Okay, let's ask the question again.
Well, it's just a comment, not so much a question. It's modern day slavery. Why pay a legal American citizen $10 an hour when they can pay an illegal citizen at $5 an hour under the table?
Because they know that they're gonna get shit done because they working for what they need to work for their family.
But that's kind of true though. Immigrants do shit Americans wouldn't do. Y'all country couldn't strive without immigrants.
Yeah.
As bad as it sounds,
yeah, it's fucked up that they pay low wages to illegal immigrants, but they put themselves in that position. If they would have come in legally, they would be making enough money.
Wow, that's good.
But are they complaining about it though? They still get shit done with that lower income. They still get their houses, they still get their vehicles, and honestly, I feel like that's why a lot of Americans are mad, because those illegal immigrants that are, you know, that are getting paid $5 an hour, that are not getting the good jobs, that are not getting the good benefits, they can fall off of, you know, off of a roof and break their leg. They're not gonna get insurance. They're not gonna get it paid for. But they're still working their way up there, and they're still trying to get stuff done.
Those are good arguments.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaving mad because
But it's not
I live in
impossible
America
for
and I have
Americans to
someone
do
who's
that.
illegal and they're taking work from me because they can undercut me, what I went to school for, I've done all this, I've worked hard to demand this wage, and then you have someone who is illegal and who can come in and undercut.
But how many illegal people?
Would
don't
you
get
cut
your job,
lawns?
though?
I'm just saying.
But that's not a good argument.
Would you cut lawns?
I'm saying, listen, when I say me, I'm not saying my position. There are people who are in position
Shut
to,
up.
there are people who are in position to say, I could have that job in the warehouse.
The bigger your hair gets, so
But-
your attitude.
Look, I worked at Freebirds on 1960, and nobody wanted to wash the dishes, nobody wanted to scrub the floors. So there was one person who was willing to do it. And I didn't know that, but he was undocumented. So, I mean, he did it. Nobody else wanted to do it. And he got paid less. Now, I didn't know that until I became a shift manager there. And then I found out there was nothing I can do about it. But I mean, like, it's mostly the jobs that I've seen, because before I became full-time here, I worked at other little jobs. And most of the people who were undocumented did the jobs that nobody else wants to do, like scrub toilets, scrub floors, and clean shit off the wall.
It's 10:50, by the way.
Don't quote your experiences. You're one of the few.
Let's not valorize. Is it valor? Yeah, making the criminal, giving that criminal valor. They're not scrubbing floors and washing toilets. They're not doing that because they have this innate strong will to want to clean. They're doing it because they're here illegal. And that's all I'm not going, who's going to push?
So if we were all here legally,
I'll do whatever I need to do because I'm here illegal.
Well, I look at this.
Vice versa, if you were to go to Mexico, you kill someone here and you fled to Mexico, you don't want to be seen, and so you can do everything under the table. Would you be discreet and what? No, I'm not about
Or would
to
you
do that.
be demanding a legal status over there also? Like,
Huh?
like if you were to cross to Mexico legally, would you be like actually demanding legal status?
Right, that's
I
right.
have a law.
You wouldn't be.
I'm not against illegals, like I said, most of the people in my family are illegal. I have to be real. If there were people that illegal, I have to take it and they have a felony
Right,
against them, I guess I
Now,
think
listen.
I'll go back to Mexico and I have medical bills to pay. So.
Listen, I want y'all to know, Mr. Johnson, I want y'all to have any perception of me. I don't have a dog in the hunt. All I do is just kindle the fire so you guys can.
so Mr. J, what's the right thing? What's right and wrong?
What's the right thing?
What's right and wrong?
Right now, we just naturalization.